Dear kickboxing fans, we are back. We are back live from Lido di Jesolo, Italy, beautiful city in Italy, close to Venice, and we are here for this year in the first edition of the WAKO Kickboxing World Cups. We will have the next edition in April in Thailand, then going to Turkey, Antalya, then after that Budapest, and the end we will finish in Uzbekistan. So busy. Oh, that's us in our small studio. So it's my pleasure to introduce and to welcome my dear guest, Mr. Roy Baker, WAKO President. Mr. President, welcome to our small studio. It is not really the studio, it's improvised, but it will make the job for this time.
Thank you, Sir John. It's a pleasure to be here with you and the team. So, Kickboxing Live TV, you're doing a great job, and let's keep promoting the sport we both love.
Thank you. We are trying and we are doing our best. We are trying to push the limits to have something new to do and to show everybody that we can be different and better from day to day. Of course, nothing of this will happen without your support, Mr. President. And when we started this project, of course, you had your vision and you supported this project. So we hope that everything will be good for us.
It gives the opportunity to promote our athletes, because in the end we exist because of our athletes. So if we can get a platform to promote their capabilities, it gives opportunities for sponsors for them. It brings revenue to WAKO, so everybody wins. They get their profiles increased, WAKO gets its profiles increased. We have the company that will develop this profile and delivers the service. And everybody, this is where the world is going in sport, not just in kickboxing, in all sports.
Yeah, it's a win-win combination for everybody. So what are your impressions about the World Cup?
3,700 registrations from 40 plus countries. You know, if you think about the sport of kickboxing, where it's come from. 2 weeks ago we had the European Cup in Bulgaria. We had 3,500 registrations. So in a period of 2 weeks, the sport of kickboxing had 6,500 competitors in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and we can add to this people that are supporting. It's not just the athletes, let's say 6,500 at least, but people involved in this, it's double with the coaches, with all the referees and everything. So it's an amazing number.
Yeah, if you look at it, the children that are here, we've got, I don't know how many thousand children we have here, but they have mommy and daddy with them, and probably the brother and sister. So when you bring an event of this scale, you are really bringing 5,000 to 6,000 people in it, and that's 9 to 12 million euros into the economy directly from outside. So this is where the value is.
These are the figures, actually, really. Just to introduce our how to say, main actors in this this moment. So we have the category 75 kilos, and we have Maksat Erlanuli from Kazakhstan in the red corner, and Davlatbek Raimonov from Uzbekistan in the blue corner. Two really good fighters, the top level, and I think that they already met in the past. So two good schools, Kazakhstan, yes, and Uzbekistan. So, Mr. President, what are your expectations?
I'm looking at Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan are two very strong nations from a K1 perspective. Look at both of them; they've got good movement, good technique, good balance. You can see they're both very experienced. Serjan, high guard, keeping a balance, good low kicks coming in, nice combinations with the knees. However, he threw two knees there, as the specialist.
Yeah, of course, it's not allowed.
So we want to really make sure there's a differentiation between K1 and Muay Thai.
Yeah, of course, it has to be the difference.
Completely different, and that's why the single knee shows the dynamic movement of the K1. And as you know, we don't use elbow, so it's more beautiful. Look at their techniques, their hands, their movement. Look at the gauging of the movement. They have 4 weapons there that they're effectively using, and they're moving. They're in and out movement, lead leg, back leg attacks, and checking the leg. It's beautiful. I love K1. It's one of our main sports. In my opinion, it's taking over the ring. It's where the future of ring will go, because a lot of fighters, what I call full contact fighters, not the full contact sport, but knockout sports, they want to do the K1. It's beautiful.
Yes, of course, and the popularity of and exposure of K1 is huge worldwide. Yeah, of course, we have a big promotions. We had it in the past, like the K1, the big K1 Grand Prix, and then we have now different kind of promotions. So everyone is looking at this.
Yeah, if you even look at the UFC now has prioritised stand-up striking. Because if people go to the ground, for the people that are at this arena, it's boring. In spite of the fact that groundwork is really technical. I'm a jiu-jitsu black belt, so it's really technical. But for a crowd, they're looking on a screen. So the stand-up striking is easily understood. It's dynamic, and it showcases contact sport. And stand-up striking, I think, is, you look at where UFC now, they get them off the floor quicker, they take them off the wire. They see that the stand-up striking is what people enjoy.
Yeah, because as a regular spectator, you have to be an expert to understand what is going on the ground. You have to see, you have to know, you have to have the basic knowledge about the ground fighting, let's say.
How to flow.
Yeah, how to flow, yeah. But is this, let's say, our advantage as a sport, as a kickboxing, for the visibility, for the promotion, on the very, very tough and hard market, what we have now?
It is. If you think of what the IOC did when we were shortlisted for LA 28, they decided K1. Everybody thinks it was WAKO decided we will go with K1. No, it wasn't. The IOC brought PricewaterhouseCoopers in, consultants, and they said, go out to the global market and tell us what sports have the potential to bring a huge audience to the LA 28 games. Now remember, all sports. And K1 came in number 5 in the world.
That was a great achievement. So, but we didn't make it to the LA.
No, but
Mr. President, what happened?
True. But look, I had an interview 1 week ago on a podcast. The same question was asked. What happened? Let's be realistic. LA 28, American football, American softball,
yeah, of course,
American baseball, lacrosse. Come on. So these are all American sports in the Olympics in America. So it's the ticket sales, and I understand that because it has to be commercially viable.
Of course.
What we said to LA was, give us a stadium, we'll sell the tickets. You will sell the tickets, just give me a stadium. But they looked at the size of ticket sales for American football.
Yeah, of course, it cannot be compared. Come on, it cannot be compared, not at all. Yeah. Maybe we could play, a little bit smart and say, okay, we can name the sport as American K1. So maybe it will help.
Well, depending on who you talk to, some people say, kickboxing came from Japan, some people say they came from America, so there's different lineages. But look, the most important thing is, look at in front of us here. We've got Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, strong athletes, competent, they're taking the shots, they're riding the shots, they know what they've got to do, and they've got the experience. Nice and clean technique.
Yeah.
This is our sport.
Yeah, of course, this is what we are, and this is what we should be.
Remember, the problem the whole world has now is people live on a screen. There's no resilience, there's no challenge. If you have the ability and the courage to step into a ring or a tatami, that makes you different to 99.9% of the population.
Exactly.
You're in there, it's mano to mano, or woman to woman, or child to child, and it's you there. Like I always say this, and you know this, Sergeant, you can teach somebody to drive, but in the end, they must sit in the seat and drive the car. That's what fighting's about. The coach can give you all the skills, give you all the mental approaches, give you all the physical attributes, but in the end, you're on the mat, you're in the ring. Yeah, the coach can even buy you a car, but you have to drive it. You gotta drive it. That's correct. So we know that we have in kickboxing in WAKO, we have the tatami, we have the ring. So what are the, let's say, comparison challenges? What is good for global kickboxing? On one way ring, on the other way tatami. So I know that you as a president, you have to keep it like you have two sons or daughters. You have to keep them both and we
together.
all have problem sons and good sons.
Yes, of course.
So if you think of the way, I think why is kickboxing so popular? Why do we have more numbers than any other combat sport in the world? And that's an IOC quote, not a Roy Baker quote. And it's because we've 7 disciplines. So when I explain that to people, I explain to people like athletics. So athletics has multiple specialities. Kickboxing has multiple specialities. And that gives us an opportunity to sell to markets where you have kids that do not want to compete, we can do the forms. You have kids that are young and want to compete but don't like getting contact. And also we don't like kids having contact. You can do your points fighting. When you get up into your 13 or 14 and 15, you're then allowed to do light contact. And for me, they're a bridge to the ring sports if you want them. So we have this ecosystem that allows us to work. And one of the problems we have in WAKO is that many countries specialise. It's very difficult to do all the disciplines. As an example, as you well know, I'm Irish. We specialise light contact, point fighting and full contact. We have Damien and a few others coming in the K1, but we're not at that level yet. I know Serbia, where you're from, you guys are the specialists in K1, ring sports. And tatami,
ring sport,
you are children.
Yep.
We are children in K1, and Ireland, we're the opposite.
Yep.
So what I'm trying to do, you're asking me a good question, is what's for global? What I've got to do is, and you've done some of the seminars with me, I've got to develop the capabilities in all the continents so that we have a balanced portfolio. So it's not just all Europe in tatami. I need Africa coming through in tatami. I need Asia coming through in tatami, and they are. So these development courses that we run 3 times a year, where we bring the best coaches, the best technical experts, the best tactical experts, that's where we grow. And these, it makes a difference. I can see it now. Look at Thailand. They're the world champion last year in Thailand. Kickboxing didn't exist in Thailand 4 years ago. Why?
Yeah.
Why'd it happen? We, you, me, and others, Thomas Barada, Zolt Maradi, Elijah Everhill. We went, we taught, they took, they brought it in.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science.
We had the pleasure to be with them, Mr. President, last year when we had the Asian Championship in Phnom Penh.
They're beautiful people.
Yeah, they're beautiful people. They are amazing people. Also, I have to say, because he's my friend, of course, and he's my countryman from Serbia, Dejan Pavic. He was the head coach of the Thailand national team for 6 months. He did an amazing job.
Amazing job.
Amazing job. Really, I could see the improvement. And you have to understand, Thailand is a land of Muay Thai.
Absolutely.
To develop anything else besides the Muay, it's mission impossible.
That's like Donald Trump living in Moscow now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, maybe he wants to live in Moscow
maybe,
now.
Yes.
Let's pick Keith Starmer, the what's he? He's the not the president. He's the Prime Minister of England. So Keith Starmer, that's like Keith Starmer saying, do you know what, I'm going to go and do a seminar in Moscow about good governance and transparency. So it's good because we have a great cat in Kickboxing Association of Thailand. They're good people, they've got the right attitude, they're creating the right momentum, and I think once you see us, once you get what we do, I think we're unstoppable.
Yeah, it's a great movement, and let's say the bright future in front of us. The other subject, I wanted to point, when you said we have to develop in different countries, you know, we are living in this modern era, 21st century. We are facing the same problem. I'm talking now also as a perspective, from the perspective of coach, because I have my gym, you have your own gym. The kids today, they live in the virtual world. This is our biggest problem, I think. Because it's very difficult to make them go out of the phone, out of the social networks, out of this kind of life which gives them possibility to be whatever they want to be. They lost completely. They
lost perspective.
Yes.
They lost perspective.
And also they lost the sense about the contact, the live contact with the other human being.
Yeah, but you got to remember, like, I'm a parent of 2 children. They're both grown up now, but I made sure, like, as a parent, my job is to make sure that those children are given the supports that they need, but also the challenges. The problem we have in society today is that everybody has to be a winner. I'm completely against that. I'm happy when I see my own students lose, but they learn.
Yeah.
That creates the ability to understand that sometimes I'm going to lose, and I develop the coping skills to lose, stand back up and step forward. Half the kids today now, when you go to some events, everybody gets a gold medal. We don't want our kids to compete. I think that's counterproductive. I think we have to have our children understand that sometimes life gets difficult. And when it does, you have to have coping skills. And I think from a psychological perspective, the future of society is difficult because our kids are living on a screen where everybody's good looking, everybody has white teeth, everybody has a perfect life. Everybody has a Lamborghini, and they go on holiday 65 weeks in the year. I'm exaggerating everything.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
They don't
but
live
you are
in the
right.
real world. And when they go into the real world, well, they have to work 12 hours a day or 2 jobs just to make a living, to afford to rent an apartment. They don't know how to cope with it. And that's where the whole psychological trauma, as you know, I just finished my PhD, and it's in this area. So that psychological trauma, if you don't have the coping skills for it, you're going to fall over.
Yeah.
And you only develop them when you're developing that neuro capability as you grow. And if you're in a bubble, when that bubble goes, you're in trouble. And your mum and dad can't save you.
Yes, of course.
It's too late.
Yeah, it's too late. Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. Of course, the challenging time that we are living in, with a lot of things going on all around the world. But let's get back to the sport. What we can expect in this year? What we have until the end?
So look, this year the biggest thing for us will be Chengdu, the games, the World Games in Chengdu in China, where we have our best athletes on the highest stage. So for us, you know, the focus of WAKO now is the Continental Championships, the World Games, the Continental Games, the European Olympic Games, the Africa Games, the Asia Games, the Pan American Games. This is where we go, because as a former athlete, I never had those opportunities. So my job as the president is to give those opportunities that I never have. And you know me well, and those that don't know me don't realise that's my whole focus.
Yeah, of course.
Nothing overtakes that focus. And with the national federations, with the publicity that we're trying to get here in this program, with us developing a media team, looking at video content, looking at a development strategy. My last comment, we've had 2 meetings now on the WAKO board in London looking at our 10-year strategy. So we've analysed the market, we've looked at what we're strong at, what we're weak at, where do we want to be. Like, if you want to go somewhere, you have to know where you want to go and then work backwards. So we know where we want to go. We've got good federations in most countries, so we want to professionalise the federations. And what a lot of people don't understand is WAKO is built on volunteerism. If we want to get to where we need to go, we need to create income and we need to create professionalism. So where we have people whose their job is to do X, Z and Y. Now I rely on 95% of what's done on volunteers who have a passion like you for the sport and want to do what they want to do because they want the sport to grow. That's okay, but if you want professional services, you have to pay for it. And if we want to beat the other combat sports, I'm not going to mention them, and I want to beat everybody, I have to have those professional services. And to do that, I have to have income. And this is one of the areas why we created this platform, and we're doing what we're doing to create that income to invest back in the sport, not in anybody's pocket.
Exactly. Yeah, it is a hard task, because let's say passion and volunteerism is a beautiful thing, but it's limited.
Yeah, but it's not hard. So I'm retiring next week from my job, 22 years. Next Friday, the 14th of March, I finish as a director of a FTSE 20 company. Because at this stage of my life, the road ahead is much shorter than the road behind. And I want to be doing the things that fulfill me, and I want to be there. I want to be with the people. I want to be beside them. I want to feel their energy. And I love my job and I love the company that I spent 21 years building. But my road ahead is about this. It's about this wonderful sport, to do what I can do, is bring it as far as I can as Roy Baker, and then pass it on to somebody else in a much better position than when I got it. That's my job. Nothing more than that.
Is it the most important, our road to IOC, and let's say to see kickboxing on the Summer Olympics one day? Is this the most important,
no,
let's say, goal, or to create sport which can be, let's say, recognized, which can be...
No, because I cannot put my objectives on something I'm not in control of. So if I set the strategy at 2032 Brisbane, that's not really a strategy, that's a wish list. Yeah. Sure, it's on my wish list, but there are things that I have to do that are quantifiable and qualifiable to get me to that place. An example, media. If I want to be still in that shortlisted by PricewaterhouseCoopers, I have to improve my media. Yeah, so for me, the end goal will be that, of course, and the European Games. But it's the things, it's like when I was an athlete, you don't focus on the World Championships. I want to be the gold medalist, I want to be the world champion. You don't focus on that. You focus on, right, who is the World Championships? What has he got? How did he get there? What do I need to do to contract him? No different to the IOC. I want to be in the Olympics. Who's there? Why are they there? What have they got that I don't get? And how do I get it?
You have to scan them.
Yeah.
You have to do them. You have to do the homework.
So in our strategy, we spent a whole day looking at all of the combat sports in the Olympics and all the combat sports that are recognised by the IOC, and we analysed them to say, what have they got good, what have they got bad, and where do we prepare good and where do we prepare bad?
Yeah.
And we spent the whole day on it, Sergio, looking at all of the combat sports in the Olympics, all of them, for I think it was 12 hours we spent. And the stuff we found out was just unbelievable. We do not one of the sports that is a Summer Games combat sport. Do you know how many athletes they have registered in the world database?
I have no idea.
6,000.
Only?
6,000 globally.
Which that sport
I'm not
might
telling
be.
you, sir. You can look. 6,000.
6,000,
Public
yeah, this
record.
is,
It's in the General Assembly minutes.
Yeah.
So we forget our size. If we had everybody registered, I'm telling you, it's 2.5 million.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Easy.
for sure.
Easy.
Yes,
Easy.
yes,
Look
yes.
at Turkey. Look at countries like
Yeah,
Italy.
the popularity
30,000
of kickboxing is huge. Yes.
So we forget the things we have, and it was very good for us doing this analysis. And Thomas Barada and Donato and loads of us sat down and went, "Wow, we forget what we have."
Yeah,
we always
exactly.
say, "Look at this sport, and look at that sport, and look at this sport." We have our competition circuit is second to nobody.
Yeah, nobody can compare with these numbers, this is for sure. But something we have to do, from my perspective, from my opinion, something we have to do different. We have to make and start to creating something like we are doing now.
Absolutely.
This is something, let's say, maybe it's rude, maybe it's not that does not sound good, but something that we can sell.
100%.
We have to make.
You have to be on the media.
Yes, we have to make some product that we can sell.
You
and this
have to
is
be
the
on
way
media.
how we can do that.
The media make the difference. They will decide whether we are successful. Media is part of the IOC scoring mechanism. So we have to decide. Media has to be an investment. We have to do it, and we have to move that pair. It's absolutely that way.
Yeah, we have a fantastic product. This is what I was always saying. We have fantastic product. We have this energy. We have good sport. We just need to put it in the nice envelope and to sell it.
And professionalize the services.
Yeah, of course.
When
This is
nobody will
number
touch
one.
us.
This is number one. And this is the road to
everything.
Everything.
Even
Yes.
sponsors. Sponsors want to see you. They say, how many people do you have and what media do you have? So it's the ecosystem. Oh, here we go. These fighters are good. Cut the Ivory Coast. They are hard.
Yeah,
you see the earlier fight where he
I saw it. It was a super yes, but it's good to have them here. You know, I remember that last year also they've been here, and I hope that they will be in the World Championship in Abu Dhabi for sure.
Yes. We have Senegal here as well. A couple of really hard fighters from Senegal I hear. The guy who won the World Cup last year, he's a monster. But look.
I know that you are super busy, and of course everybody would like to have a piece of your time, but I would just like to bring up one more subject, and I will not waste your time anymore. So we know how strong our countries in the past, our members, the Russia and Belarus. So what is going on with them at this moment?
That's a good question. So Belarus are back. You can see them here.
I heard it, but I could not believe it because they announced the WAKO Belarus. I was like, I didn't hear that for several years, really. Now it is already several years.
So they're back. Belarus is back. I'm delighted to have them back. And we're in discussions at the moment with WAKO Russia. So all sports in the IOC have followed the same protocol, that if Russia's coming back into your sport, they come back in with a neutral flag and a neutral anthem. So we have approached WAKO Russia on 3 occasions. We are now in direct debate with WAKO Russia about coming back in. We want Russia back in. They were the strongest federation in kickboxing. They are, as a fighting sport, they are extraordinary. We want them back, but they need to come back into conditions that are acceptable to WAKO and acceptable to the IOC, because in the end, our mothership is the IOC.
Of course.
They tell us, yes, Russia can come, and here's the conditions. We think it's the right time to bring them back, but they have to maintain those conditions. And I genuinely hope Russia comes back in, because we need them in our ring, we need them in tatami. They are a force to be reckoned with in kickboxing, and we miss them. You and I have grown up with Russia. Yeah, exactly. We have a lot of friends and a lot of people, and of course we are waiting for them to come back. The former president of WAKO Russia is still I spoke to him 2 days ago, Vadim. He's still my personal friend. Yeah, of course. But tell me, the Belarus will be under the name of Belarus? It's under the name of Belarus, but not with the Belarusian flag. Not allowed with the flag. Not the flag and the national anthem. So Belarus. Okay. So if Russia came back, it would be Russia, but without the Russian flag and without the Russian national anthem. But this is good. So they would, I don't know, of course they would have to decide to accept this offer. It's their choice. Yeah, it's their choice. It's not like it's in our gift to move it. It is what it is, and we hope they come back, because we need them. We would love to have them in Abu Dhabi. We would love to have them in Thailand. We would love to have them in Budapest. We would love to have them in Uzbekistan, especially. Of course. Yeah, they would. It's across the road for them in Russia. So to get them back in Uzbekistan would be wonderful.
yeah, I can say that we, let's say officials, we would like to have them back, but maybe we can ask fighters if they want to have them back. That's the second question.
Nah, listen, as a former champion, I can tell you, it never made me happy when the top fighters weren't in my division.
Of
If I
course,
want to win,
yeah.
I want to win with everybody there.
Of
I
course.
don't want my number one nemesis to be hurt. I want him to be there, and I want to beat him. And if he's not there, as a former world champion, as you know, I'd step back and I go, no, today it's not my day. I want everybody there, and I want to stand on the podium and go, I beat you all.
Yeah, of course, I'm just joking. It's not the same when we are missing them, and it was not the same the last 2 years when we 2 or 3 years, 3 years already without them. So I hope that we will see them soon, as you said, Mr. President,
Absolutely.
in Abu Dhabi in the World Championship. So last message for our audience, for our kickboxing fans.
Thank you for looking. You help contribute to the development of WAKO through the funds that we secure from this system, kickboxinglive.tv. The system and the process is getting better. Like every process, it takes time to evolve and get it right. So please stay with us, and in the future, this is the way we'll go. We have to improve our media. But it's great to see Cote d'Ivoire. Look at him, he's in the lead now. He's got 3 referees. I've got him clear. I think it's 3-1, 3-1, 3-1. There's a fine specimen of a Swiss young athlete there, but he's not winning at the moment, and he's getting a proper talking to by his coach. So like every coach, he's giving the advice to change the game, and your coach can change the game.
Of course. It was my pleasure, Mr. President, to host you here. I hope that we will have the chance to continue this on the next event, hopefully. Next event that we will have, it will be the European Cup in Sarajevo, and then after that we go Bangkok, the World Cup, and then continue the season. So it was my real pleasure to have you here, Mr. President, and have a good day and have a good weekend.
I will. Thank you, everybody. Have
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh, dear fans, I hope that you enjoyed in our conversation, and our special guest, Mr. Roy Baker, WAKO president. I hope that you could hear some interesting things about kickboxing, about the world that is going around at this moment. And we missed the last fight. Okay, we put some more time on the other subject. So we are back now in this event. It is the 86 K1. We have Abdul Ibrahim Dosso from Ivory Coast in the red corner versus Konstantin Lech, Switzerland, in the blue corner. We are in the last round of K1 final, senior men minus 86 kilogram. We have Abdul Ibrahim Dosso from Ivory Coast in the red corner and Konstantin Lech from Switzerland in the blue corner. Advantage on the side of Dosso. Judge number 175, judge number 284, and judge number 326. So 2-1 for Dosso. 40 seconds, less than 40 seconds to go. Lech is going forward, trying to cut the difference. Now it's 2-1 for Lech. He made it. Getting closer and closer. Wow, nice, good kick. Let's see what will be this. If I'm okay, I think this will be the minus point. Yes, yes, for holding, which is not allowed. So 3 points deduction. And now the big difference, the big advantage to Lech. 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's the end of the fight. So the minus point was the one that decided the winner. Of course, the one who decided the winner was Konstantin Lech from Switzerland. He was pushing and pushing, and he was fighting on the good way, and he achieved the victory at the end. So the winner, K1 senior man minus 86 kilogram, Konstantin Lech from Switzerland. Our winner, Konstantin Lech from Switzerland. That was the last final in K1 for men. Now we will have female